Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Bokksu, a monthly subscription service that brings premium Japanese snacks and tea pairings right to your doorstep. So as some of you know who've been watching me for a long time, much of what I've been doing here on YouTube started with tasting things and trying things. Back when I lived in Japan, people sent me treats from all over the world, and it was such a wonderful way to quickly jump into another person's culture. You could taste their favorite treats, favorite sweets, what grows there regionally. It's just a wonderful way to learn, and each box is themed, providing a gourmet tasting journey through Japan. So some of Bokksu's partners are over 100 years old and family run, and they offer snacks that are genuine and authentic. So this month I got this box, and this month is Tanjobi, which means birthday. Each box will come with a pamphlet, and I really appreciate it because right in the beginning it tells you the theme, and it also provides a map detailing where the snacks come from, which I think is really, really important because in Japan there's lots of hyper-regionality with snacks and tasty treats that you can only find in one little tiny spot in Japan. So I'm super excited because there's one from Ehime, and that is the area where I lived when I lived in Japan. I love the fact that there are full-size treats and multiple treats so you can share with someone as you're doing the taste test. Cookies, a citrus jelly, 2 bags of takoyaki snacks. This is yuzu, and it is a citrus. And here are the peels. Itadakimasu. So fragrant and lemony. It reminds me a little bit of a kumquat. You get a little bit of that tang, but just that really intense citrusness, and then it's sweet. So good. So if you'd like to try Bokksu for yourself, click the link down below and use my code Emmy to receive $15 off your first order. Big thanks to Bokksu for sponsoring this video and for their continued support. So today I'm going to be making myself a bowl of ramen noodles. This is unlike any other bowl of noodles I've had before. It's going to contain a cone of soft serve ice cream. I first learned about this about 4 months ago in January, and I said there's no way that I'll ever be able to taste it. It's served at a little ramen shop in Osaka. The name of the shop is called Furaken, and it's a twist on Frankenstein, and it has unique combinations with your ramen noodles, and this particular one contains a soft serve cone. Whoa. Floating right on the top of your bowl of miso ramen. This bowl of ramen is called amakara miso, and it's miso based, and amakara means sweet and spicy. So you've got a spicy broth and you've got this dairy sweet soft serve ice cream on top. So come along with me as we make an inspiration of this Franken ramen. So the first thing that I've already done is I've cooked my egg. So usually when you get a bowl of ramen, you can have the option of having a soft-boiled egg in there, or it just comes with it. So there's lots of different ways to make an onsen tamago. Onsen is natural hot springs. If you go to Japan, I highly recommend going to an onsen. It's one of my favoriteest things in the world. Besides konbini, it's one of my favoriteest things about Japan. Now, the method I end up using is just making a soft cooked egg. I bring water to the boil, I place an egg in there, set the timer, reduce the heat to a simmer. After 7 minutes, take the egg out, plunge it into some cold water, and there you have it. That's my cooked egg. So after a careful inspection of all the images that I could find of this ramen, I noticed that the swirl of the ice cream is very, very distinct, as if the cone has been soft served into a cone and then frozen. If you took a soft serve ice cream and immediately placed it on your bowl of hot noodles, it would immediately melt and you wouldn't have those distinctive swirls. And if you look carefully, it looks like a half a cone. They've taken the cone and cut it in half after it's been completely frozen solid and then placed right on top of the soup. So what I've done is got a couple of soft serve cones, placed them in my freezer, and when they're rock hard, cut them in half so I can just set it right on top. And if you think about it, it makes sense. An entire soft serve ice cream cone in your bowl of noodles would be a lot of ice cream. Alrighty, so that's prepared. Now we're gonna make our noodles. People ask me all the time, Emmy, what's your favorite ramen noodle? And what I like are these refrigerated ramen noodles. They are pretty much instant. They come with noodles and a sauce packet, but in my opinion, the texture of these noodles are better than the dried. The brand that I'm using today is Sun Noodle. I love their noodles, and all of their kind of instant ramen packs are delicious. I happen to have the tonkotsu today, don't have the miso. The miso one is absolutely delicious as well. This, of course, is an approximation of the one in Osaka. So water's up to the boil, add my noodles, and these don't take any time to cook at all, just a few minutes. And I like my noodles on the harder side, so I usually take mine out a little bit early. While that's going, I'm going to peel my egg. A little tap, a little roly, and then just gently peel. And plunging an egg into boiling water, I find, makes for really easy peeling. Before my noodles boil over, reduce the heat. Beautiful. They give you cooking times, but you know, just cook it to how you like it. Perfect. Turn off the heat, drain my noodles. I usually do this in the sink. Sometimes people like to make the broth out of this water. I generally don't because I find it to be too starchy, but if you want to, by all means. So depending on what's going on in my kitchen, and if I'm cooking lots of batches of noodles, sometimes I'll run some cold water over the noodles so that they don't stick, and then continue doing this kind of shaking thing so there's not too much water. Other people would say, never do that. But you know what? You do whatever works for you. Alrighty? Okay. Some hot water that I brought to a boil. I'm gonna put in about 2 cups or so. Again, the instructions will tell you how much water to add, but I tend to use however much I like. Sometimes the broths are too salty for me, but I do use all of the packet. It looks almost like peanut butter. It does not taste or smell anything like peanut butter. I love doing this. If I get a bunch of scallions or green onions from the supermarket, I chop them up and put them in a container like this, and I find that I use them up a lot faster and better when they're all pre-chopped. I can just add them to whatever I want. Otherwise, in my refrigerator, the green onions tend to languish at the bottom of the crisper and they get all slimy and gross. And this way I end up using them. Then I save the bottoms and I soak them in a little bit of water and then stick them in my garden. Or if you don't have a garden, you can just leave those bottoms in a glass of water. Change the water every so often so it doesn't get gross. And then the green onions will grow right back. It's really, really wonderful. Alrighty, let's go ahead and build the bowl. Noodles into the bowl, broth. So I've got some chili oil and I'm gonna add some of that to this. Oh, that's beautiful. Eggs, big pile of green onions. Now for the totally bonkers part, the soft serve ice cream cone, right in the middle of it. Oh my gosh, amazing. Lovelies, this is so nuts. Look at this. An ice cream cone floating in my bowl of ramen. Alrighty. Oh yeah. The ice cream is melting. Let's give this a taste. Itadakimasu. Not bad. Not bad. The ice cream definitely richens the broth and makes it sweeter, although I don't taste any vanilla. It still is definitely savory. The noodles are nice and chewy, just how I like them. The green onions definitely make it savory. And that little bit of chili oil in there gives it a tiny bit of heat. Let's have an egg. Oh my gosh, I love eggs. So good. The one thing I do have to say is that the ice cream definitely cools the broth. The broth is not as piping hot. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and give the cone a taste. The cone is mostly soft and soggy. It's absorbed all of the soup from the broth. Has a little bit of crunch in it, but it also has a little bit of ice cream, so it's kind of like it's filled with an ice cream center. It's kind of fun, sweet, and a little bit cold. Interesting and pretty tasty. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks so much for joining me, and big thanks to Bokksu for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Bokksu out for yourself, click the link down below and use my code Emmy to receive $15 off your order. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Is there a burp in there? There is.